Right, so we are live. Let's put it in the Discord. Right. Right. Where is it? Right, guys. We bullish or are we bearish? I was expecting to go at the open from the way that we took the previous day high. That we would get this pump. Good morning, hello. So we're going to focus on what was going through yesterday, right? So where are we? So we've got our high. In fact, I can do that without us having to we'll just change it on important levels. Oh, something I need to add in. Can't change the thickness of the line. So right now I'm looking for longs. We've got the Q opening soon. We opened with a bit of a gap yesterday. Didn't fill it. Looks like we'll open again today. Let's have a look. Let's get our levels on. So close. Oh, it's up here. Oh, that's good. So we could have a bullish Q gap when we open, and we've just taken the previous hour. Let me put my 4 hours on. Them off. Oh, okay. It's like we had yesterday. So previous 4 hours taking the 4 hour low. Right, as you see, we here 4 hour retrace down the gap. Took the previous 4 hour low, came back up. Beautiful short. And we have taken the previous 4 hour low, although we've taken previous 1 hour high. Traffic lights have gone bullish. Nice and clear. I have not had a croissant yet. I haven't even got a camera. I wonder where my camera is. Lovely camera, yeah. I've got a new one arriving tomorrow. Oh man, it is a beautiful sunny day today in France. We're going to be hitting 21 degrees. But before we do that, we're going to make some money. I was trying to put TradingView on TradingView. I have got a mouse mat. Listen, I'll tell you what it is. Someone messed around with all my settings and now my mic sounds really loud and picks up all the noise when it didn't. I'm blaming you, Mr. Bonnie. I'm blaming you. We have to go through all my settings again. I bet you did it on purpose. I bet. I mean, I'm first of all, I'm surprised that the live stream's even working. So that's a bonus. And not getting any issues so far with the internet. So yeah. But yeah. We are going to follow on with T's rules. Sound quality is all right. Oh, okay, good. We are going to follow along. So we are below the daily, right? We have a gap in the opening, so we could return to fill that gap. Our previous day is way down here. Now, something that we need to look at as well is our weeklies. So let's just turn everything off and focus on the weeklies, and let's do it so we can see them. All right, you can go away. So weekly. So current week is here. I don't want them extended. Why have I extended them? Okay, look. Current week is here. Previous week is here, right? So you can see, we go up onto the 5 minute. Right? We've been bearish on the weekly since here when we took the previous weekly low. Right? We've been failing to take weekly highs. So something to be a little mindful of at the moment if the end of the week is going to reverse and carry on bearish again. We've got our previous weekly low here, right? And our previous weekly high. So here's some targets for some more swing trades, right? So here you can see we took previous weekly low and then failed to come out at the end of the week. We did have that drop beforehand, and then same thing again. We've had this bullish and then return to the open for the weekly, return to the open for the weekly. So pretty doji candles, yeah. So this will be a wick, this will be a wick, and then we close in the middle. Same thing here, right? So if we can do the same thing, we might come up like we have done and then see what happens. But we haven't taken the weekly low right now, so that's one thing to note. Let's go back. So right now is the first day that we've taken, we took the previous day high. Let's do daily and weekly and monthly. Let's just wait for it to load. So we can see our 4-hour candle. We've come back up our previous 4-hour. We've taken the previous hourly high, but we've got contradicting signals. We're below our 200. Swing structure is bearish, right? We've had over a 50% retracement if we were to look at our big money zones. It's 4 a.m. We would have, right, for this swing structure, we've come back up, retraced into our zone, and then come back, okay? If we look at it from this point of view, right, you can see we've come back again into this swing where we're currently holding. This would have been about the same. Yeah, so you can see that big money zone holding with the 4-hour. So we really want to see, we're going to go bearish. We want to see this holding and then a rejection and a breakthrough, come below the 4-hour and give us that decent short. Longs could possibly come into play once the queue opens, so we'll wait for that. Let's do a little recap on gold. Alright. So gold's already taken previous day high. I mean, let me just for 1 second look at that shit show. So there's the daily candle. Up, down, up, down, up, down. Yesterday was a good reversal day trader. So if you were trading reversals, you probably had a good day yesterday on gold. But for any sort of real trend, it was pretty chop. So nice. See what might happen today on gold. We have come out and taken the previous day high. It looks like a higher time frame corrective action, so I would expect to be returning to the daily and then coming out bullish and coming below. Same thing again today on gold. Looks like probably going to be just a higher time frame correction. So if we went up to like the 1 hour, right? You've got this push down and then corrective price action. So we want to see a break really on gold. It's going to go bullish, try and get some sort of break. Otherwise, you can expect probably that we'll take the current daily high on gold as well. But yeah, definitely better to be not trading gold today. Here is our new 1 hour open with a big push. Really struggling to... Let's check the Q's still not open. So the Q's opened, right? And we've got a bit of a gap on the Q. You can see that here. So possible we might run straight for that. There's a buy signal. We don't have our traffic lights aligned. The Q gap is not that big. On a Q doesn't mean it can't reach it. Our stop, I think, would be here. We're looking at 2 contracts. Entry would be above. Let's have a look. It's quite a big stop for what is. Yeah. Not sure we'll take previous 4 hour high because we haven't taken that yet. So it's too big of a stop for me for where I could potentially see we might go. Like if we were around here, this would be better. So could take a retracement like we've got. But the issue on this one is more stop placement than anything else. Unless we used... We could play the break and below the 200 here. Now we've had a little bit of a pullback. Quite like that. Let's see where we'd need to play. Okay. That just about lines up for me. Still not invalidated because we haven't taken the candle low yet. So what we're going to come down for below, other than the gap, we've already come through, taken Asia, took the previous 4-hour low. This is what's really putting me off at the moment, is the fact that we've taken the previous 4-hour low. So I'm trying to get my targets inside the previous 4-hour candle. So, which is why I'm looking at around here and not so much up to the daily, because that would mean we'd have to go through this 4-hour. Also on the 1-hour, right, you can see that we've come down with this strong, this is our previous 1-hour, then we've dojied, come up, and closed at the moment, so it's not. See the 4-hour, quite strong rejections on the 4-hour to retrace down. Yee 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 yee. Let's see if we inverse this candle. Could get a rejection from here, but let's see if we inverse it. See this rejections here, like 1, 2, 3. So we, and here as well. See this 4-hour on the Q. This is, although we got the gap up here, we need to be, if we were gonna, we need to be careful at this level. We don't have both trend traffic lights aligned yet. Yeah, I think we'll wait. Signal's invalidated because we went through the low of the candle. Let's see. It does look like a bit of inducement. See this low here? We might just come back to test this 4-hour, come through that low. So again, just to kind of follow through that, we've got our 1-hour is currently neutral, but previously took the 1-hour high. Our 4-hour is bearish. It's taken the previous 4-hour low. Our daily's bullish in that we've taken the previous daily high. Our weekly hasn't done any at the moment, and our monthly candle, we've taken the previous monthly low. At the moment, the monthly candle's bullish, the weekly candle's bullish, the daily candle's bearish, the 4-hour candle's bullish, and the 1-hour candle is bearish. What does that mean? Means we've got a lot of mixed signals. We haven't got everything aligned, so we're not trading with all of our higher time frame, right? So we've got our 1-hour and our 4-hour are contradicting themselves in terms of the 4 hours taking the previous 4-hour low, but it's currently bullish. Probability sits that it should close bearish, in that we should come below the alpha zone, but we can't do that until our 1-hour comes through and starts aligning really. We need a bearish 1 hour candle. So not really clean. My bias for the day would still be that we should retrace down and come into New York and try and you know, come for this Asia high at least. Right now, the gap fill might be the play. But let's see whether we do come below this 4 hour now. So I'm looking for this low to go. So there was our take of this low, retested the 4. Not ideal from an hourly point of view because we are 10 minutes in. And we've taken the low of the current hour. We had this large expansion to the downside, which gave us this zone here, which we have come back to. So right now, sellers look like they're back in control. Oh, sorry guys. Do you know what? I had the chat blocked. I was that zoned in on focused on that trade. I was just on my own, just talking to myself. How are we doing? All right. Sorry. I know I've got it all mixed up today. I've not got a camera. Couldn't get it onto mobile view, so I'm on widescreen. And yeah. But to be honest, but at least it is working. The internet's holding up, so I'll give it that. So I'll be on for the rest of this week. What I've decided to do this week is I've just loaded up a fresh 50k Apex account for an eval. I've not traded new ones yet, so I thought I'd give a go on the new ones. So I've got a new account to see what we can do this week. Let's see if we can get it passed. It's fresh. As you see, we got 2,000 drawdown. Everything remains the same. We're going to see what we can do. Oh, can I ask you a question? If the current alpha zone opens above the previous one so for a sell, we need to wait until the previous hour low is broken. Yes, that would be ideal in terms of your confluences. So that's why I've got this point in here that we want to see us coming back, and that hourly candle is then switching bearish again as well. Our higher time frame. So if we go through our bearish confluences, what have we got? Okay, so we've got our 200. We're below our 200. So that's bearish. Our trend traffic have now both gone bearish. So there's our second confluence for bearish. We're below the daily. There's 3. Right? Our 4 hour is opening below our previous 4 hour. There's 4 or 5. We've taken our previous 4 hour low. There's 5 or 6. We're below the 1 hour, so there's another one. So right now our bearish alignment is coming into play. The bullish side we do have a sell. So we're trading this right into this 4 hour, which just is going to be a no trade for me, right? So this previous hour, you can see, look, we took the previous hour high here, right? So right now, this could be a protected low, and you might see that we fail to go on. However, structure-wise, you can see it's nice and clean, right? Nice push up, big impulse down, retracement up into a big money zone, push down, fail to take this high, and it looks like then obviously you would get that continuation to come take out this low. We've got a gap from the opening here, so there is a reason that price could come all the way down. Oh, your sell disappeared. Yeah, sell disappeared. Mine's just slow because it's invalidated. So once this candle took the high of the sell signal, it's no longer a valid entry. Remember, we take entries on the continuation of price, so it's not a valid trade now. Correct. And this is again what I was looking at. This would be our inducement. So we've come up, swipe these lows, and then the 4 hours going to offer. You can see, look here, right? With the hourly, we've had some buyers step in at this area. We get some buyers step in at this area. So we really want to see us come in below the 4 hour, right? A new hour probably is going to need to open, and then we want to get a trade near the 1 hour because we want to get that expansion out, and then we'll play that down. New York, I reckon, is going to be pretty good today. I'm liking the look of price for New York, building a lot of liquidity, and it's very corrective in that we are, if you look at the angle at which we're correcting, it's nice and channel-like. So very often we'll get a break and a push. So Asia high is looking very very nice today. Again, it doesn't have to. We wait for all our things to align to give us the trade. It's just you know, just looking at what looks like might be setting up. So I'm using the manual risk calculator today. If you're wondering why it looks a little different, it's currently set to the top of the candle. Yeah, of course can. So I went through gold before. Gold was a shit show yesterday. So if we look at the daily, you can see that we went up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. So what this looks like, if you were to trade this now, it looks like a corrective price action. So let me just hide all of our indicators. So if we go up onto the higher time frame, let's just go on the 30-minute now, right? So we've had this beautiful expansion down. And then if you look, we're just sort of, we've started bullish, but a correction bullish. So it looks like, to me, we'll probably go bullish. We've taken the previous day high. So gold's looking like we might come up. And I would say if we were to put big money on, we're going to look at like a zone around here. So we might see gold retrace back up into this sort of area. Possibly before another continuation down. But yeah, right now gold's in a higher time frame, sort of tighter price action. If you look at, if you were to mark out this area, right, we've been inside this sort of area for a while. So more bullish on gold today. Let's bring the indicators back on and let's have a little look. So more bullish on gold. We're above the daily, right? So we've come up, we've taken the previous daily high. That's nice and bullish. The 4 hour, so we just don't have our 4 hour aligned yet. So something to be a little bit careful of is, watch this. Right, here's our 4. Why am I? Go away. Shut up. What's this doing here? Control Alt H. Control Alt H. Well, I did that. Anyway, it's going to stay. So here's our 4 hour, right? So you can see our 4 hour takes the previous 4 hour high here. Then we get this 4 hour and we go up and we take previous day, and off previous day we come flying back to the daily candle. But when we open this 4 hour, we take the previous 4 hour low. So I'm a little bit conscious on gold with that, but it is looking nice and bullish, and the 4 hour high is miles away. So there could be a decent long trade on gold. Well, to be fair, that's not a bad one. If we were to align the confluences, you're above the daily, you're above the 4 hour, you're above the 1 hour. The 1 hour has already taken the previous 1 hour high. So this is a valid trade on gold. And how we would have been playing that is stop above the golden candle. I would use the low of the 4 hour, and we're looking for 1R, right? So what we want to make sure is there a reason why price won't hit this area? Well, our 4 hour highs here, so we can trade within this 4 hour zone. This is more likely like max extension, this 1 hour zone here, right? So this is more likely where we would trade up to. You would then use your big money, right, as well to have a little look on this extension down on gold. So let's just level this out on gold, because you might need to be a little bit careful on where that's hitting up to. Yeah, it's just tapped into it. Just tapped into the big money, just taking the previous hour, and we're having quite a rejection off of that. So only thing not aligning on here is the current 4 hour, which has taken the previous 4 hour low. And structure wise, you've had this large move down, but otherwise, this is your trade area. And again, you can hit your 1R within the big money zone. It's just a little something to be wary of on that trade. Like I said at the beginning of the live, gold for me at the moment is something I would stay away from. I would not trade gold today. I would try and keep away from gold probably this week. I think gold's going to be a shit show this week. I think you probably find it like it can be really frustrating where one pair can just be in a corrective state on the higher time frame and you end up in a shit show. And you trade that for a week, 2 weeks, and you get pissed off, and then you go, gold's looking so sweet. Oh my God, I'm going to go give gold a go. And then you skip over to gold, and that expansion that's you've just seen on gold play out, you then end up in the correction on gold. So just stick to whatever you trade. But be conscious of the state that pair's in, right? Down your risk. Just down your risk. All right, so 1 hour. Rejection off the 4. Inducement with this low. I am bullish on let's just look at the higher time frame. So this is my higher time frame chart that I use with the alpha zones. This is my Bitcoin chart, and let's have a little look at gold on this as well, because I use it for gold. Yeah, sure, of course. No worries, Nico. Let me just check this on gold. So on the daily chart, you can see that we've come down. We've had a doji candle. RSI is bearish. You can see the weekly is also starting to lose. So we've got a bearish candle. We've taken the previous weekly low. So I'd be, you know, like shorts are definitely, well, I say definitely, but we might have a little retracement back up this leg down. But gold is looking like it's setting up for a little bit of a deeper retracement now with this correction. So we'll see. We have broke under the 50 on the daily. On the RSI, you can see we held it, and then now we've just failed to come back above. So it does look more like a breakdown with gold. Weekly's setting up bearish as well. It's just how far it's going to go. Very often we've seen gold just pumping and pumping, right? So it's just how far that retracement's going to go, and it's difficult to give a clear target on where that is right now. Like I said, I feel like we've had this push down and we're starting a bit of a corrective price push on gold. So my settings are probably wrong. Let's have a look. What do I have on? Yeah, I'm not using that. They're just standard, right? I don't have chop filter on. Intraday volume. I'm using the volumes with my trades. But I'm not using any other filters. Should just be default, right? Hey, Gummy. So we're waiting for the breakdown on NQ or a continued break up on the Q gap. Gold isn't even in my head today. It's off my list until I see it clearly breaking out of this corrective trend. So the only reason is this gap fill right now for NQ. We're waiting for this low to go. We need to be careful because this is going to be quite a liquidity point, and we might just, yeah, might just. So for the 50k, I'm starting off, we're getting a sell signal. So this is a little bit better of a sell signal than the previous one because we've already come back to that area now on the 4 hour. So we've come through the low, come back up to our 1 hour and 200 and given a nice rejection. So our 1 hour is still looking like we will correct. However, we still think that this 1 hour low here is still protected, right? We need to see us aligning on the 1 hour going bearish. We went through our confluences. We have a lot more confluences to the downside than we do to the upside. Our traffic lights are now aligned, and we are looking potentially for a short. This is where you end up with your potential what's it called? God, brain's gone from being able to call it out. We end up in a range. So we can get trapped between here and here within this range, right? So we just need to be a little bit careful with that. We've had this nice movement down, and now we are in the corrective phrase of this. So I just need to be a little bit careful. So I'll show you an example of where we might possibly be if we use yesterday. So if I don't know if you watched yesterday's video that I put up, I just focused on this, the one confluence of taking the previous hourly highs and lows, right? Try to keep it straightforward. But you can see here, look, this push up and then we start a bearish correction. So these 2 hours remain below the hour, but we stayed within our previous 1 hour, right? So we inside barred for 2 hours until this new hour gave us the break. So this delivery of price is just, we need to find space. So this sell signal here is fine because as long as we're targeting towards the 200, not that we're taking it, but this is showing you kind of like, okay, well, this is your trade space until we break the lows. And we did the same thing when we went into New York, right? New York, if you watch me in the video, we take this previous hour low. Now we're protected. The 4 hour is still bullish. This is our 4 hour low. So we just started that range, right? Range in between until this 1 hour took the previous 1 hour high here. And then you can see the bullish state. We take the 1 hour high again. And then we have that push to come through all of the highs before flipping and going back bearish again. So yesterday, also just to show you that on what we should really kind of look at is we've had this retracement down on NQ, possibly could be at the end of that retracement. So you can see that we took the previous day low and then we came and took the previous day high. So let's just check it out on the 1 hour. Okay, so we've had this structural low. So you can see that we've had a push up, a retracement down. Nice corrective tracement down. This will be down into a big money zone, right? Come out of that big money zone. So now we've broken structure to the upside here. This is we've had a big push up. Is this the open? We're retracing down and then potentially for a continuation on. So if we're going to start a retracement from this leg, then again we can expect we'd need to come through this low to see that we're going to do a deeper retracement. So right now I'm pretty bullish. NQ's looking quite bullish in that we might be starting a break higher. Right, let's go on normal candles. Right now, this is kind of, from a targeting point of view, it's pretty blank space, right? It's pretty much this, fill in the gap is all it's giving it. But you see how diagonal price is, right? So when you get expansions, they're very sort of fast when they come out, right? And then usually when you correct in a more of a sort of diagonal and then continuation. It's not been that though, it's been pretty up and down with New York opens. because it's the hourly. So looking like, let's get down to the 1 minute. We're probably going to get this short trade. Come on. Let's switch calculator. We're going short. At least 2 contracts for risking 150. We want to see this low go. If we can get a signal and get that low going, then it's this low that I'm worried about. Let's see. Let's see. So right now, we're not expecting this low to go, right? Because the hourly's taking the high. We're waiting for it to go because it can go. If we see this now fail to take this low, we've come this close. If we fail to take this low, that is extremely bullish. Right? We've come within distance of this low, and if we fail to take it, if we can see some sort of structure, new hour, opening bullish, then I'm liking it for a long. Otherwise, I want to see this low go. Looks like it should go, but nothing more bullish than a failed bearish low not taken. And it's a great example of that, yeah, yesterday a couple of times on the video. So the poll's pretty mixed at the moment. 60% of you are bullish on NQ today. 40% are bearish. I am bullish on NQ today. It's bullish. Oh, man. Look at that. Why would we come that close to taking this low and fail? Sneaky, sneaky. Let's see what we do here now. We've got 40 minutes of this hour left. So we're waiting patiently. Q's come back to the daily. That's a nice rejection on the Q. Big wick on the bottom. Getting a break candle. So the white candles are a break candle. What that is showing you is that we've had a change in price action. Buyers are able to take out the last push down from sellers. 20 minutes for the hour. That's right, mate. Let's have a bit of patience. Let's have a bit of patience. Okay, why isn't that working? No. Can't seem to get this one to work. Let's reload. Look at the pump. And we're getting a buy signal. Oh my god, you are a fucking arsehole the size of that. So this is absolutely not in line, other than my bias, right, and what I've been talking about. That failed attempt to take the low. Looking like we might go and fill that Q gap. We would need our target to be within inside this 4-hour high, unless we take this 4-hour high and we're going to go and run for Asia. So we just don't have a lot of lines. Stop wise, we've got the 4-hour. I would be using this candle low on this trade if I was going to play it, right? I'd be using the candle low or the previous candle low, so that would be my entry. This is so bullish, not taking this low. I feel like we'll probably come through this previous hour high, right? We haven't taken the previous hour high. It's looking pretty clean that we probably will. But for us to do that, we're going to have to take this high, which means we're going to have a stop. It's just not, we haven't got a lot of room to take that trade, right? Which means we're going to have to push it to around here, which isn't bad. The sensible thing to do right now on this trade is just wait for everything to align. New hour, what we'd really want to see in the new hour is this. We want to see alpha zone open, right? Price push, test, signal, and we enter on that trade. We're going to take our entry with our stop below. Ideally, it's close to the alpha zone, right? So we don't have too big of a stop, and we will get the hourly expansion to fill that Q gap. That would be the ideal. It might go and do it now. But if we look at this 4-hour, right, other than me and kind of my experience, price is consolidating within this zone. So the failed attempt for the low always makes me feel like we're going to have that volatility and price push, but it doesn't mean it's not a setup, right? It's a prediction. So just got to stick with it, wait for the right setup. Yeah, 100%. I will post all my trades. I've started this account for that reason. We're gonna follow along on the account. I'm gonna post everything this week. I will aim to take all my trades with you on this account as well. I won't try and do too much offline. I'll focus really on taking the trades, talking through why I'm taking the trades. But what I really want to showcase this week is the power of like taking highs and lows. That's right, kind of this one confluence that we use, why we use it, how powerful it is in terms of keeping us aligned. I do like this as a trade. Like I said, this previous 4 hour is kind of my max target, if you like. I'd want to be able to push price to. What were we looking at on the other trade? So we were looking at that protected. We were looking at this, weren't we? I think, but the stop was below this, right? And it just was. It was pretty tight for us to be able to get that trade. I'd prefer a tighter stop. Unfortunately, that was not in the cards for us to be able to play. It didn't align, so we can't do any. We can't take those trades. Here, I'd be looking at, if we were to try and take a similar one, it's just too big, the stop loss, which means we've got to play the hourly or the candle low, right? And difficult. Price could easily come back, retest now, and then carry on up. So I think the new hour is the sensible play on this one. This is our current hourly high. Statistics show that there's a good chance this will stay our hourly high. So we've got 15 minutes for our new hourly. The new hourly might open here. Right, so our new hourly might just open here like this. Possible, and then you could get a break straight away on the new hour. Our 200 is flat. Right? 200 is flat. We'll keep checking on gold anyway. Yeah. Green, green, green. Structure-wise, we are pretty bullish on. We are looking pretty bullish, and we are in a bullish correction. So I am more bullish on gold short term, right? So we can see, look, we've had this nice push up, correction to big money zone, also with the daily, held, and pushed out. So if we're going to continue on in that vein of, but we've had, how many legs have we had? So we've had 1, 2, so we could see this high go again for a third push. So, you know, it's not unfeasible for gold to come and take this high. It's in that sort of structure. It's cleaner than yesterday, which was a lot more sideways, and we've already taken previous daily high. So it's just, yeah, like I said, I'm not looking to trade gold today. If we were to look at the expansion down, so we expect this zone to break, right? So we expect this to break because right now we're bullish, and the bet we've been holding 5-minute bullish zones. So we expect this to break. We can see when we come down, we start holding bullish zones. We haven't yet failed a bullish zone in this leg. I don't think we've come down to this one. Yeah, maybe we have. Oh, not quite. Use a slightly bigger one. So yeah, bit of a retracement. Then we break through. The only thing I don't like is the 4 hour. But there's plenty of room for us to expand up. Just not seeing what I'm looking for on gold. Right. NQ at the moment, we are just broken through. Oh, we're just up to. Let's have a look. Yeah. So we want to see this hold in as well. Let me just put it on. Like to see buyers hold around here. How long have we got? 9 minutes. Let's see. So I'm playing for we open a new hourly candle around here. We get a buy signal within 5 minutes of that hourly candle. Mystic Meg. My tea leaves. Stick with me. Have patience. Right? We've avoided taking a trade during this process. We need new candles. Daylight savings time on New York as well probably isn't helping. We need to catch up on that. Oh yeah, that's what I was doing. We're going to be calm. Got our meditation music on. Hum. Sell signal. Okay, we're going to wait for this low to go before we're taking any shorts. So short side, we'd want to see a hourly candle opening down here. And then possibly a little push up, rejection, close below the hour, retest, and a trade. That's our short setup. Our long setup probably look like this. Bing, bing, way. I am leaning bullish. Definitely. I think New York's going to be a good session. I think it's going to be a nice bullish session. I think Asia Low's going to get it. Speak French. Do you know what? I need to learn French. It's so bad. There's not many. I mean, yeah. I am. Yeah. See these Asia High. I'm all for that going. So I need to learn French. So I've moved to France, for anybody that doesn't know. I've now moved to the south of France. And I've learnt one word. One word. I've been here a month and I've learnt one word. And I've forgotten it. What is it? I'm so bad at languages, even English. Bonjour. Bonjour. Have a nice day. Fuck's sake. So shit. And I really want to learn it, right? I hate going around and not being able to understand what anyone's saying. And I feel rude as well, right? This is France. It's a French country. Should be speaking French. Pain in the bum. Anyway, I'm sure I'll get there. Bonjour. I should learn trading in French. What's long? What's long in French? How do I say long in French? How do I say long in French? So is what? There's two words. Fuck's sake. Feminine, masculine. What? Why is it two words? Fuck, that's confused the life out of me. I have been in the trading game for probably about, realistically, I would say 4 years. There was a year of crypto, which isn't really trading when you first start, spots trading on crypto. And then I moved into Forex, and I was trading Euro USD for a good year. And then moved into futures. And I've been trading futures probably for about, I don't know, 3 years. No, 2.5 years. So my trading started with DR. That was my first kind of trading experience. And then I was there for about 6 months, but it kept on changing. It was just constantly changing. I did really well with it, and I do still like the concept. But the data was a load of shit, and it kept on adding and changing things, which caused my profitability to be damaged. So then I went off, and basically I created my own trading system, trading style. So Alpha Zones is a higher time frame analysis where we use the balance of buyers and sellers, and I collected data on things as well. Is it? Was that 2 years ago? Well, there you go. I've been trading just over 2 years. It feels like 9. Yeah, it did. It needed when I first. It was price action based when I first started, right? And the price action side of it was great, and I did really well. Did really well with it. But when it came so data led, and the data itself was wrong, like you just needed to dig a little more, and you could see that 10 years of data actually hadn't been playing out in the last 3 years. And if you follow the data over the last 3 years, it just fucking killed you. So yeah, other than ES. So it was good experience. I learned a lot. I take everything with experience. Like, I've taken things from that were good, and it's just part of trading, right? You take areas that you learn and you add your own little spin to it as well. Oh my god. Yeah, I agree. So we are 9 o'clock. This is our open. Here we go. I've got to get ready. Let me turn off big money for now. So we held that 4 hour beautifully. We're opening our zone roughly where I said, right? We're getting an expansion out. Let's get ready for a push, retest, signal. Fucking let's go. So our traffic lights aren't aligned yet. But good stuff, Clark, man. Do you know what? Everybody's journey is different. There is no time period. I think a good person or example of that is Kyle, Jade Cap. I mean, 10 years he's been trading, and his biggest success came in year 10. Right? And the only thing really, we just got to find something that we enjoy trading, something that's interesting to us, it's easy to understand, it's easy to follow, and then focus on the mental game. Mental game is everything. Focus on the mental game. There's our push up. So we need to be London and previous hour high, we do need to be careful of. Q's starting to break up as well. We've got that Q gap. This is our level we need to be careful of on Q. So I want to see a signal, and I will be taking this trade. FYI. If it loses, I'm happy to lose the trade as part of the process. There's our signal. My stop loss, if we wanted to be safe, we could go here, but I don't think we're going to reach it. I'm going to take this low here, a little bit bigger, could be tighter, and then that should give us enough room to cover. We could limit order at the 1 hour, which is what I might do here, so I can get a better entry. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Or I'm going to break through. I'll have both. If it breaks through, I'll take in the trade. If it comes to the 1 hour, I'm taking the trade as well. So 8.5. Yep. Let's go. I need, how many contracts do I need? 2 contracts. Come on, a little bit further, and that's me in. 753. So I'm in at 787. In there. So ideally, obviously, we want to take the trades when we're breaking through the candle high. It's just one of them. This signal's now invalidated. So if you're not taking the candle high, you're not taking the trade, right? We failed to take the previous hour low. Previous hour took the high, so we can expect our previous hour to go and our London high. This is a little bit more kind of where I'm looking at targets for. My risk is 150 on this trade, so nothing crazy. First trade of the day. And then what I'll probably do is increase risk on the next trade if I am wrong. If the 4 hour was aligned, then I would have been happier having a bigger stop as well. Because target wise we could have gone higher. Again, the 4 hour, we took the previous 4 hour low, which I don't like. And I'm just looking for, if we are going to expand, it's going to be within this sort of target range, max up to the previous 4 hour. So execution could have been better today. That wasn't a great execution. We were expecting a retest of the hour. And again, candle high is our safest entry. That does increase our win rate. So that could have been better. But we're just getting back into it after I've had nearly a month off from trading with the move. So my review of my trade on this one will be entry could have been better. Could have more confluences to the upside. Ideally, I'd like the 4-hour aligned and my trend traffic lights. But from a calling of price, in terms of expectation of what might happen, the failing to take the low, opening again here, that we would get a sprint for these highs, that was kind of, it aligned in what I was kind of looking for. So I'm happy to take the trade. If this trade fails, then I'd want to see again, then I'm going to wait for a new 4-hour and I'm going to wait for a low to go. If the next 4-hour fails to take this low, then I'll be looking for more bearish price action. Let's check our 1-hour. 8:30, yeah, is achievable. Are we a little early for the trade? Possibly. You know, four hours bullish, hourly candles bullish. So the 4-hour and the hourly are currently bullish. So we're sat at the moment with the trend. The hour has a small wick on it, on the hourly candle. So we did push down a little bit at the start. So we do have a wick. Let's see if we can play this on. Targeting is 820. So execution, guys. This is what it looks like. Right. Really, these lows, we're going for higher. But 200 in the hourly is holding at the moment. I trade, I mainly trade NQ. I was on MNQ today because I was trying to put TradingView on the chart, but TradingView logins changed from last time I used it on TradingView. We've had our trend traffic lights have now gone green. Woo, woo, woo. So another bullish confluence starting to align. We need to see the expansion now. So what we don't want to see is, look, this retracement, holding. We want to see price expand now onto our target. Let's see what we can do. Let us see. Jiggy. So this confluence was one of the main confluences I used during the TradingView Cup, especially for the swing, like pulling out bigger trades when I needed to hold it longer to qualify through the first stage. Was kind of following that higher time frame, and I'd wait for early breaks, like daily breaks. Usually then the second and third candles pretty good. So that was one of the reasons, one of the confluences I used a lot during the competition, and it's been one that of all the kind of statistics, it's been a great one that's kind of stuck with me. I like taking previous candle highs as a probability. I like, what else probability do I like? First 20 minutes as well, I like that. That's still a probability I use. So once we've taken the previous hour high and that sort of area, I'll be break even. Don't really need to go break even. I could just reduce risk to the hourly, but we'll decide at the time if we get up there. Obviously, this is going to be our first area of concern once we come through these equal highs. Let's see what happens. Remember, this is being very, very shop central, right? So we've come within this sort of area and failed every time. Now, what's changed is we had an expansion up, right? So let's go through this expansion up. So we've had an expansion up, a retracement back. We failed to come through the low. We've then expanded up and taken out this high, come down, held and failed to come through the low again, and then expanded, which is why it's really important we come through this high to see that this is a bit more of a structured move. Otherwise, we could just be back in the chop zone a bit and we might retrace. This is why I've put my stop down here, because we could retrace back down to this sort of area. I wanted to see this to be the expansion move. I was looking for this to be the move away. A break candle in the opposite direction is not great. So let me move my trade out of the way. 1-7. I think New York, like I said, I think New York's going to be a decent session today. But we might be able to just get our trade today. Let's see. Possibly. I mean, it's one of them. You could leave a runner for Asia high, being that this could be the push for it. Possible. It's early for that though, and you'd want to take like the majority of contracts off. I just don't feel like it. Not yet. Let's just play inside of our trade. So this is the 5-minute candles. So we can see this push down. Right? So we are in the corrective phase of this push. So not clean price action, but we're trying to catch the push for London high. You can see the 200 on the 5-minute. 5 minutes nice and bullish, right? Flip bullish, held, push up. It's just, are we going to come down again before coming for Asia high? 4 hour is bearish in terms of it's taking the previous 4 hour low, so we are not aligned across all time frames yet. The 1 hour is struggling. I mean, the current hour is struggling. We failed to come up again. Like, we are 18 minutes in. We're about to hit the 20-minute mark. That's really ideally, we'd want to see that trade have played out. So let's just check it out. Let's get our fib. 8.5. What I'm watching for is whether we're going to close below the 0.5. So I'm watching. So I'm looking for the close above or below the 0.5 by 20 minutes, because that gives us an indication of which direction we're likely to go, right? Way, okay, so we've come through the high, we've come close to previous hour high. Let's watch. Let me get rid of the fibs now. It's just because we're in the, so we got a buy signal on this now as well. So it's a decent buy signal. I think you can get your target within this as well. Right, let's have a look. So, yeah, it's not bad. Like what I don't want us is to come like dead. We've just taken obviously this high, which is great. How far it's just how it's going to deliver price to it, whether we end up having this correction again and then another push up. What I wanted to see was this to be the expansion. This hour gives us the expansion and the push through. So that was my my play on this one, as I showed you how the hour would open. But we've taken that high, which is a level. If you are in on this signal, then that's fine. You know, London high is 0.7. You could push for a little bit higher for 1 hour. We've got the previous 4 hour up here, and then also we've got Asia high as well. So you could take some partials and let a runner go. So our first job is trade management. So when I see previous hour high go, then I'll be going break even and looking for the trade to come towards my target. And then as we get to London high, I might trail a little bit more aggressive. Is anybody in any trade at the moment, or is it just me? Cool. All good. Stick to your plan. Whatever you do, just stick to your plan. Like I said, this is, you know, I can't trade like T. T can't trade like me. We all have our own experiences and ways of trading. Yeah, so I was just going to say, like, just coming this close to the previous hour high, and price being like it is, it could be a dick and come back, right? Want to see it take that previous hour high, like now. I haven't reduced the stop right now. I am sat in the trade as I was. Come on. I want us to break through. Strong push. Come on. Big push. Let's go. Come on. Come on. Pop for both of them and London. Come on. Let's go. Come on. Come on. I just want to see one giant candle all the way through. Let's go. Don't be a dick. All right. So that's me break even on the trade. This impulse, I want it to be the impulse that I'm trading. I want this to be my profit. So we are just about to hit London, and that's me done. TP was at 820. GG, great trade. Let's go. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. All right, guys. That was some loving. Sometimes we just got to wait for those new hours to open, right? To give us that consistent break, right? This is just a corrective part. But this break of this high during the hour, and then the retest and the hold in, yeah, it was good. So we're at our 4 hour here. Price is still going, but this is where kind of my max was, where the queue is now, right? This is where I kind of wanted to see our targets hit. And our 1R, we were trying to get our 1R to fit inside this range. It might run for the moon now. It doesn't matter, right? It does not matter. Take our trades. Wait for our setups. Hit our targets. If we want to leave runners, but we don't stress. So, my execution. First trade on the account. Done. Took 22 minutes that trade. Didn't quite get, what was the commissions on it? Trade fees weren't a lot. I must have had my entry and target wrong. So my entry was 24787. 24787, yeah. And then 1R, I was 21. Can't have been that much. I had my target, I got filled at 820, so it was 1 point down. That can't be $20 worth at 1 point. Can't be. Anyway. We got 120. So if you did take this buy signal, again, you'd have won on that one as well. So if you'd have waited for the signal and taken the entry through it, the same trade, you'd have had less pain than me. You'd have just gone straight to target. Right. So let's have a little look at gold now. We're not chasing NQ. Okay. There's no trade there. I just don't like gold. Oh, it was beautiful on ES. A little bit cleaner as well with the hourly open. But you had London right there as well. But you got that signal. So that was kind of what I was looking for in terms of that signal early on. Retest. Off we go. So ES played out beautifully. And we've come through and taken the previous 4-hour high as well on ES. So looks like Asia's gonna get touched. Same thing on NQ now. We're getting close to that previous 4-hour high. We want to see if NQ is going to go bullish. Like we want to see that that 4 hour get taken now. We don't want to see the 4 hour fail. If the 4 hour fails, then again, there's nothing more bearish than a failed bullish high getting taken when we're in a bearish mood. So yeah, I'm going to watch for that. We are 9:30, halfway through. I'm just gonna bear me a second, guys. I'm just gonna take a toilet break. Won't be back in a second. He's back. It is a beautiful day today, so one of the things I am going to do is make the most of that today as well, right? Not going to sit on the charts all day. We've had a good trade. What I will do is do a recap video of the reasoning. Like, I'll recap this trade today. Is there anything else you'd like to see in today's video? So obviously, like, we're getting some streaming issues. Okay, that's fine. It's back up. So yeah, is there anything you'd like me to recap? So obviously I've gone through the previous hourly highs and lows. I can carry on with that this week. So we're going into real detail on it, understanding like each setup, how that involved in it before we move on to, you know, other confluences as well. But just comment anything you'd like me to cover in today's recap. Yesterday, obviously, I focused on the previous hourly high taking. I'm thinking about when things don't align. So today, obviously, like we had things not aligning, what to look for when it doesn't align. So for example, really quickly on this one, obviously, like our 4 hour wasn't. Oh, you can't get back there. I thought I fucking locked you. Go away. Our 4 hour wasn't aligned, right? We'd taken our previous 4 hour low. However, our 4 hour was bullish. So although we weren't trading with that confluence on the 4 hour, we were trading with the 4 hour candle, right? My stream keeps coming down. Apologies if it keeps breaking up, guys. I will be back on tomorrow again the same time. I'm not going anywhere yet, but just saying I'll be trading this same time again tomorrow. If you want to join me, I'll be on all week while T works on building the bots. He is busy, and we wanted to give it, you know, let him real focus on getting that done, getting pushed ahead as much as possible. So we got a VWAP trader. Are we trading daily VWAP, session VWAP? . Right, guys, if you were in that trade and you took that win and you haven't yet liked the stream, do me a favor, give us a like on the stream. It just helps us to increase our reach, get out there in the ethos front of people. So if we look at ES, let's just wait for this candle to close. Got 13 seconds until the minute candle closes. Okay, so ES, you can see that the 4 hour is mixed. So what it means is we've taken the previous 4 hour low and then we've taken the previous 4 hour high, right? But the last thing that we did was take the 4 hour high, and the current candle is bullish and the hourly is bullish and the daily is bullish. So I am all for an expansion for the daily candle today, but we got a new 4 hour coming in 20 minutes. Let's see how that measures out. See, it's a nice, look at this retracement on the daily, right, for ES. So we come up, we retrace all the way to the 200, right? The rejection from the same area. We've come back down and literally opened and flew yesterday. So today we could reach back up into this gap. So 770 daily candle. So we'd want to see the daily candle. We flip bullish, and then maybe this is where New York will get an expansion up into this sort of area, and then we'll see what happens. We haven't yet broken any structure on the daily. But you can see how those gaps have held up price, right? So right. Same again here. Got a rejection, and then here we could see price potentially retrace back up to it. We might get a little rejection, but then we might then see that as the reversal point, where we could then have a bit of a push back up. We can have a look where it's on the higher time frame. So Q rejected from that area. We still haven't filled the Q gap, but where we were expecting to get a bit of a rejection of, we are getting that, right? So we're getting a bit of a pull back now. Let's look at NQ on our higher time frame analysis, our swing trading. So NQ. So we can see our weekly. I don't know if you can. I'll try. How can I zoom in on this one? Make it big. Yeah. So this is our weekly. We can see that we've come down to the 200 on the weekly. So potentially we can expect some sort of reaction. Low on the weekly as well. So right now we don't have any. We're not showing any volume between them, so let's we're early on yet. We're early on the reversal. We just need to be a little bit more patient on that one. our weekly RSI is trending bearish, right? So we've not yet get all the signals that this is we're going to fly all the way back. So right now we're focusing on the lower time frames. Higher time frames we're still bearish. Daily RSI, we've been consolidating in this area. We'd want to see it break above the 50 before giving us some more confirmations. Here, this is our yearly, right? So we'd want to see is if we're going to go bullish again, we want to come back above this to break for all-time highs. That was our previous year. Oh no, sorry, previous 6 months. And then, yeah, previous year is here. So you can see, look, we started off, we came down. Once we got, we then broke off. So, could see that we maybe carry on down. If we're going to go bearish, maybe we come and retest this area here. But we have just come through this low. Bit messy. It's not super clear on the higher time frames. ES hasn't taken that low. Still very bearish. I still think any sort of expansion at the moment is a short-lived expansion. We could be the reversal, but haven't yet seen enough to say this is the reversal. Targets back up to that gap, back up to this zone here, sort of 788. That's kind of what I'd be looking for as a trade. Yeah. Put it back on Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, I'm just looking for a retracement back up into here. So from this previous year, right, on here, on October, March, these zones on the higher time frame, these are all potential reactions. See, we got a reaction here, and then we went straight through, and this is was my kind of money one. We can get a decent trade out of here, back up to here, and then this is where I kind of think max I'd want to see the retracement for Bitcoin. Failed to take the previous 4-hour high. We've come down, retraced, come back up again. So if we come through this low now, then we'd want to see a new 4-hour candle open. The 4-hour candle early take the previous 4-hour high, and that be the process. That be the process. Who's done for the day? Anybody finished? Already logged off? Gonna have to be patient. New York, like I keep saying, I think New York could be quite good. We've got 13 minutes until we get a new 4-hour candle. If we fail to take this 4-hour high, right now you can see, look, we've just retraced. Right, got this 4-hour high. So, possible fail. See if we get another break candle. And I think I'm going to have to end the stream because my internet is now starting to play up. Yeah. So I think that's it for me today. For me today. It's it for me today, guys. Apologies for the internet issues at the end. But other than that, it's been a good stream. Thank you for sticking along. I will see you live tomorrow. All right, guys. Take care. I'll try and fix this bloody internet.